You don't feel guilty for resting because you're lazy. You feel guilty because somewhere along the way, your brain learned that being exhausted makes you worthy. For some people, rest does not feel peaceful. It feels uncomfortable. It feels unearned. Sometimes it even feels selfish. They can sit down for 5 minutes and suddenly their mind starts whispering, "You should be doing something. You're falling behind. You don't deserve to relax yet." But that guilt may not be telling the truth. It may simply be repeating an old lesson. 1. Rest feels like doing nothing. Many people grow up learning that being busy means being valuable. When they are productive, people praise them. When they achieve something, they feel seen. When they take care of everyone else, they feel useful. So over time, the brain starts to connect worth with output. And when there is no output, no task, no checklist, no visible progress, rest can feel like failure. Even if the body is exhausted, the mind says, "Keep going. You haven't done enough yet." This is why resting can feel so strangely uncomfortable. Not because rest is wrong, but because the person has been trained to feel safe only when they are performing. 2. The childhood message: love must be earned. For some people, this pattern begins early. Maybe they were praised mostly when they were responsible, successful, quiet, helpful, or easy to manage. Maybe love was not directly taken away, but approval became strongest when they were achieving something. So they learned a silent rule: I am accepted when I am useful. And that rule can follow them into adulthood. They may become the person who always says yes, the person who struggles to slow down, the person who feels anxious when they are not needed. Because deep down, rest can feel like a risk. It can feel like, if I stop doing, will I still matter? 3. The nervous system gets used to pressure. There's also a body-based reason this happens. When someone spends a long time under pressure, their nervous system can become used to stress. Stress becomes familiar. Urgency becomes normal. Constant motion becomes the default setting. So when life finally gets quiet, the body does not always relax right away. Instead, stillness may feel unfamiliar. The mind may start searching for something to worry about. The body may feel restless, tense, or even guilty. This does not mean the person is bad at resting. It means their system may need time to learn that calm is safe. 4. Guilt can be the voice of expectations. And then there is the culture around us. We live in a world that often celebrates overwork. People are praised for being busy, exhausted, booked, and always available. Social media can make it worse. Everyone seems to be building something, improving something, learning something, earning something. So when you rest, it may feel like everyone else is moving forward while you're falling behind. But guilt often speaks in the voice of expectations we never consciously chose. Sometimes the guilt is not wisdom. Sometimes it is pressure wearing a convincing mask. 5. Rest is not a reward for burnout. The truth is, rest is not something you earn only after you have destroyed yourself. Rest is part of how humans function. Your brain needs pauses to process information. Your emotions need space to settle. Your body needs recovery to keep going. Rest is not the opposite of productivity. It is what makes sustainable productivity possible. And more importantly, rest is not proof that you are weak, lazy, or selfish. It is a basic human need. You do not have to reach a breaking point before you are allowed to slow down. 6. A gentler way to see it. So if you feel guilty for resting, try not to judge yourself for that guilt. Instead, get curious about it. Ask yourself, where did I learn that I always have to be useful? Whose voice does this guilt sound like? What am I afraid would happen if I allowed myself to pause? Because sometimes healing does not begin with doing more. Sometimes it begins with realizing that you are still worthy, even when you are not producing, fixing, helping, proving, or performing. Rest is not something you have to deserve. Rest is something your nervous system, your mind, and your life all need. And the next time guilt shows up while you're resting, you do not have to obey it immediately. You can simply notice it and remind yourself, I am allowed to pause. I am allowed to recover. I am still enough, even here.